is Friday's full body home workout. Grab your kettlebells, your dumbbells, and or your grocery shopping bag. Fill with a bunch of stuff. All right, I got a water bottle, got a bunch of cans in here. Even found an 8-pound dumbbell that I threw in there. So you can play with it, find a weight that works good for you for upcoming exercises. I'll give an explanation of the exercises, and then I will do the entire first round of each section. And then you could either pause the video, go back, finish your sets, or you could even rewind it and do it with me again and again until you finish all your sets, all right? So movement prep, I have a few sections of lifts, and then finish with cool down stretches, all right? Let's go. Here's the movement prep. First movement prep exercise, we're gonna do your necks. We're gonna do neck rolls, okay? So you're gonna start with your chin down by your chest. I'm gonna do a big circle. Once my ear gets to this shoulder, I'm gonna pull down my opposite shoulder to really get a big stretch going down my neck and into my trap. As I roll around to the other side, once my ear hits this shoulder, I pull this shoulder down. We're gonna do 5 in each direction. 2, 3. Take your time. Really pull those shoulders down. 4 and 5. Now we switch directions. Ear to shoulder, pull this other shoulder down. Ear to shoulder, pull this shoulder down. 2. Trying to keep your body still. I really just want my head to be moving around here. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Exercise number 2 is going to be chest opener. So I'm just going to hold my hands behind my back right here. I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together, really pull my hands down, and lean my head back. See my hips going forward, my chest really puffing out too. And I go back to the start. So I pinch my shoulder blades together, pull down on my hands, just gently lean back. There's 2, so we'll do 5 of these. 3 more. 3, 4, 5. Very good. Next, yoga Plex plus Cobra. So in a push-up position, really screw my arms in. Then I'm gonna push my hips up and back. Keep my legs and my arms straight. Really drop my heels towards the floor. So at the top here, I should feel a big stretch in my hamstrings, my calves, a little bit in my back, and in my shoulders. So with my hands here, I'm really pushing into the floor like I'm trying to push my body through my legs. Okay, once we hold that stretch for a few seconds, drop your hips down towards the floor, keep the arms straight, look forward, big stretch in your low back. So that's 1, we want to go back and forth 5 times. So here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Next, climber plus rotation. So again, in that push-up position, your arms straight, and take a big wide step. I really want to lean my weight towards that side. Really open this leg up so I get that stretch in my hip. Keeping this arm straight, I twist my whole torso open. Then I'll go to the other side. Big wide step, lean into it, big turn. Let's do 5 on each side. 2. Way drop up. 3. 4. 1 more each side. 5. Good. Last one, triangle bridge. So laying on your back, dig your heel into the floor. You're gonna cross your other leg over your knee. So pushing off this heel, Get your hips as high as you can, then try to pry this knee down towards the floor, and then back down. We'll do 5 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5. You notice I take a little pause at the top, so I really get that good stretch in my hip. And when I pry this knee down, try to keep my hips nice and level, and keep them as high as you can get them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the first round of the movement prep. Either press pause, go through it again, or you can rewind it and do it with me again. So exercise number 1 is going to be the squat plus shoulder press. So it's like a 2-for-1 exercise. Now this is the only exercise we're going to do in this section. So you want to finish your set and take a break, take about a minute break, and then do another set, take a break, so on and so forth. So without any weight, it's going to, whatever you're going to use for weight, you want to hold it up by your shoulder, and then you're going to sit down in the squat first. So remember, when we squat, our hips go back a little bit as you sit down, mostly on your heels. You try to get nice and low, right? Not bending your spine, keeping your chest up and looking forward. And then when you stand back up, you're going to press your weight overhead and back down. So squat, stand up, press overhead. If you're using a dumbbell, you hold your dumbbell somewhere around shoulder level. You can even kind of rest on your shoulder a little bit. Then you're going to do your squat, stand up, overhead press, back down. Squat, press, back down. If you're using a kettlebell, remember, you want to grab your kettlebell at the top corner. You want the handle to go down about 45 degrees from your thumb to your wrist. And I want to cradle it right on my bicep and on my chest right here. So it's staying very close to me. And then the rules stay the same. You're going to squat it and then press it. All right? I'm going to do the first set right now. I'm going to do it with the bag. So I'm going to do 10 on each side. If you can get to 10 on each side using proper form, go for it. If you can't get there, just do as many as you can. All right, so I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to wrap my hand up in it so I get rid of some of the slack so it's not wobbling everywhere. I'm going to throw it behind me. And then here comes my first set here. So squat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The old switcheroo. Wrap her up. All right, here we go. Other side. 1, 2. Ooh, almost fell. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so at this point, take your break, take about a minute, minute and a half off. You can either pause this, go through your last 2 to 4 sets, or you can rewind it and do it with me again. All right, the next section here, we're doing 2 exercises. We're doing a 1-arm row and a swing. And we're gonna kind of blend them together. So here's what I mean by that. So you're gonna, whatever you're using for a weight, you're gonna grab it. You wanna hinge your hips back so I can be in this like hamstring stretch position. Get my leg out of the way, and you're just gonna row it. So when I row, I'm pulling my elbow behind me, I'm getting my shoulder behind me, I'm squeezing that side of my back towards the middle of my back. So I get a good squeeze on those muscles back there. After you finish 10, take your weight and you're gonna do 10 swings right away. So remember, taking your weight, you're gonna push it between your legs and keep your chest up, got my back flat, got a big stretch in my hamstrings. All right, start to push your hips forward to stand up, right? Your arms and your weight get pushed out. As your arms fall, as your hands get towards your hips again, push your hips back. So the bottom position right here, you should be feeling a stretch in your hamstrings, a little stretch in your low back. And then as you stand up, you're letting the force of this movement push your arms out. So your arms are very loose, right? They're like ropes or wet noodles. Down, hinge, push, up. Down, hinge, push, up. After you finish your 10 swings, put your weight in your other hand, get back in that row position. You're going to do 10 rows on the other side. Once you finish the 10 rows, you'll go right in to 10 more swings. Okay, that's the end of the set. You take a rest right there, and then finish your sets. So if you're using a dumbbell, right, it'll look something like this for your rows. And for the swings, I'll just hold it at the top head right here. Let my arms go loose. My swings will look something like that. Kettlebell, very similar. Get in that row position, get some good pulls. Then I'll grab it right on top of the handles here. And my swings look something like that. So for the first set I'm about to do, I'm going to do it with, of course, the bag. All right, so here we go. 10 rows on the right side, 10 swings. 10 rows on the left side, 10 swings. Then a break. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right into my swing. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right into the swings. Okay, that's the first set. You can either pause, take your break, come back, do your 2 to 4 more sets, or you can rewind it and do it with me again. All right, have fun. All right, next, we're gonna do a superset of core stuff. So our first exercise here is the windmill. So if you've never done a windmill before, I'm gonna heavily suggest you do this without a weight. And if you're feeling confident with it after your first set, then you can try to add a little bit of weight. All right, so I'm gonna do it with my bag weight. Of course, you can use the dumbbell or the kettlebell, doesn't matter, or no weight. All right, so get your weight up above your head, arm nice and straight. All right, you're gonna take your feet and you're gonna angle them away from the weight. So maybe about 45 degrees out. All right, so I'm gonna start by pushing my hip out to the side, letting this arm slide down the inside of my leg towards the floor. And at the bottom here, I should make them one straight line from hand to hand. I got a big stretch in my left hamstring right here. I'm really feeling in my oblique. And all the way back up. We're gonna do 5 on each side. 2, 3, I'm trying to keep my legs straight. 4, you might be able to get down to the floor, or maybe not. Just take it as far as your flexibility will allow you to, all right? We'll switch sides, arms straight up, angle the feet away, kick my hip out to the side. Keep your eyes on the weight. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Second exercise is going to be the basic crunch. An oldie but a goodie. So laying down flat, feet flat on the floor, Remember, you want to stick your low back into the floor. So get rid of the space between your low back and the floor. So now you got a lot of tension on your stomach here. Okay, so you can either cross your arms in front of you, get your hands behind your ears or a little bit harder, or arms straight behind you is the hardest, all right? I'll go mid-range here, all right? So low back touching the floor, tuck my chin. Just want to curl my chest up, right? I want it all to be felt right here in my belly. My low back touching the floor. Then all the way back down, right? Make sure your low back's touching the floor before you go again. I'm gonna do 10 of these, all right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's the first set. Take a little break, 60 to 90 seconds. Either hit pause, do your 2 to 4 more sets, or rewind it and do it with me again. All right, we made it to the cool down. So first cool down stretch, we do a little side bend. So we want to focus the stretch on the area between your hip and your rib cage. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. So on one leg, you want to raise your arms straight up. So I want to push this hip out to the side and throw my weight over to the other side. I'm going to look back and really bring my weight back a little bit, and then just hold it right here. Remember, we're really focusing on this area right here. And hold. Take a few deep breaths. Good. All right, we'll switch. All right, I'm only holding these things for a little bit. You guys at home should really take your time with these. Spend at least 30 seconds in these stretches, preferably longer. All right, so other side, arms straight up, push my hip out to the side, bring my weight over and back a little bit. Stretch number 2, we're going to do wide stance hamstring stretch. So get your feet nice and wide, right? You want to push your hips back until we really engage the hamstrings. I'm just going to get my hand on the floor here and just hold it. Good. And our last stretch is going to be the pec stretch. So on the floor, tee your arms out. I'm going to take a big back step. So it's like I'm trying to attach my right foot to my left hand here and rolling all my weight over my pec and my arm. Right? If you want extra stretch, get this arm up and just hold it. Good. Now for the other side, get my arm out, big back diagonal stretch. Hold it, extra stretch, arm up. Concludes our full body at-home workout for Friday. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's still training. I hope to see or hear from everybody really soon. Take care, everybody.